Hey, hey, what's up, B? How we doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good
Hey,
morning.
y'all. Good morning. Welcome to C Student Podcast. Comedian André Mulligan, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Hey, I just want to introduce y'all to the wonderful Brandi Coleman, owner of Be Creative there in Louisville, Kentucky. How we doing today?
We're doing fine. Good
We're
morning.
doing fine. Hey, man, how's the weather out there?
It's raining, I believe.
Is it?
Outside.
Do you go outside or are you more in?
I'm more in.
Okay.
I go
So
to the office or to the grocery store.
okay, so you have a regular job and then you have your own business?
Yes.
How long you been doing your own business?
It started during quarantine. I had ordered a Bedazzle kit off Amazon.
Okay.
For a while. And
Okay. And what? Okay, let me make sure because sometimes let me make sure this video is going up correctly, and sometimes it ends up not going correctly, and I want to make sure everybody can tune in and see the excellent person that we're talking to. Hold on, yeah, because sometimes it doesn't make it public; it makes it private. So give me 1 sec. Sorry about that. That's where the production crew come in at. So y'all, for everybody's tuning in, y'all make sure y'all contribute and like and share my videos. That way we can get a good production crew in here to do everything. So Brandi, so what made you really jump onto the quarantine, like not the quarantine, what made you get on the business side? What made you all of a sudden just say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do? Did you see?
I mean, because so many people complimented. All I did was bedazzle a phone case, and I just got a lot of compliments from it. And they were like, "I want one. Make me one. Make me one." So that's where it started. So it went from just cell phone cases to now I have a whole Cricut. I have the Cricut maker, and I have a plethora of supplies, which is covered while my desk is covered the way it is.
Okay.
And I just started making it. I kind of got away from myself, which I've discussed before, because I just like to play with my clothes. I like to alter my clothes because I don't like to wear everything that everybody else has on. And I kind of got caught up in the mix of what everybody is already doing. But I'll find my own niche in it.
So with the Be Creative brand, what is your symbol? What makes you different? What makes your style different from anybody else when it comes to like the embroidery? What do you say?
Well, I don't do embroidery, but I try to do items. I don't know. Mine is just unique because everybody else may be doing a T-shirt, but your T-shirt may not look like mine.
Okay.
I like the glittery. I like the sparkly. It doesn't have to be distressed, but it's just different. It's just going to be unique. And what I try to stick to is that you're one of one. This is the only shirt that you're going to see out on the street that looks like this.
So what made you kind of more so? Is this something you always thought about doing? Is doing your own kind of business, or is it something you did before? Or are you just like, hey, I'm gonna do it now?
No, I never thought about doing my own business in this per se, because I don't know how to sew or anything. But it was just something to do. And then I put so much money into it. I need to find a way to make my money back.
Okay.
It makes sense to spend, and I try to get a return on what you spent.
Do you find it hard to be a Black business owner and get support amongst minorities like myself, or are you seeing the trend in people helping you, or are you saying like, no, it's not there yet? What would you say?
I wouldn't say. Well, right now, I wouldn't say that. I think there's been enough support all around, but it's just so many people doing it. I think during this pandemic, a lot of people took up crafting, and there's nothing wrong with it because it's something that keeps your mind engaged. I can sit at my desk for hours and just work on projects and not realize how much time has gone by. So
Okay.
I think it's something that everyone has gotten into a little bit, or some more than the other. And I think it's been really supportive. It's received a lot of support from everyone. I mean, if you go on Facebook Marketplace, you'll see a lot of craft items on there for sale. Instagram is the same way. Social media is the biggest platform to sell your craft and items. But I think it's been supportive around the globe because, everyone is doing something different. Everyone has their own unique niche.
Yeah.
Certain things. So I think it's supportive.
Now tell me this. One thing when it comes to like black women and black men, do you think that you making more money and increasing your wealth, do you think more guys are going to be more distracted by that? Or you think guys are okay with being with a woman that makes more money than them? Or would you find that's not challenging? Or the guys that you date going to be cool with that? How's that? You always hear it. Like guys are jealous when a woman makes more money than them. And you find that people say that. What do you think?
If a guy is intimidated that a woman makes more money to them, then that's their insecurity. Because you should be proud.
Do you think? But when you're looking at how we raised, because you were raised in the 90s. So raised in the 90s, what that real jump right now? What do you feel it's a better climate for you right now? Do you feel it was better back then? You just didn't reap the benefits.
I definitely love the 90s. I love the 90s, but we've got to evolve and move on with the times. But I definitely love the 90s. But to deal with a man that's insecure because the woman makes a lot of money, what I do see is that some men, they want to feel needed. If a woman doesn't want them or doesn't need them, not want, but need them, then that's where the issue resides. Because they're like, well, if I leave, you still going to be able to maintain what you already have. Duh, ain't that the point?
You gotta. Come on, man. You don't think that's what it's about, though? Don't you think more guys? When it falls down, you got whoever got the best sex got the better control, and then whoever got the money has the control.
Doubt it. It's not about that.
I think because I always been like able to like, hey, I'm taking my penis away. Like, oh, don't do that, please don't do it. You ain't never been like telling the guy I'm gonna take my sex away.
It hasn't been about that for me because I have bills. So it's the bill payer for me.
Have you ever used sex as a weapon?
What do you mean?
Have you ever used sex as a weapon, meaning that you control the man with your sex game, saying, hey, if I don't get this, you can't have sex. If you don't be with me, no more sex. Have you used that privilege of like sex as a weapon? Because they always saying that man sexualize women. Do you think that it's the other way around? Sometimes do you think women know that they can manipulate men and they wear certain things? And have you ever done that?
It's power in it. It's some power in it, but I think it's someone that you're already in a relationship with. So somebody you randomly meet. It's someone that you're already in a relationship with, and you can manipulate them into doing certain things, but it's only going to go so far unless it's somebody that's weak-minded.
So tell me something. I haven't seen you like that. Would you say do guys catcall you like when you out? They be like, "Hey, what's up, shawty? Whoop the whoop." Do they say that? And for a guy, for you to answer back, because I know women do. I know I've been in the drop top and been like, "What's up, shorty?" and she'll come and holler at me. Do you talk to a guy based on that, or would you talk to a guy like if a guy pulls up in a Porsche or Ferrari and he like, "Hey, how you doing? May I speak to you?" Is that cool, or do he need to get out the car?
What they pull up in, because I have my own car. So
you don't got no Ferrari, you don't got no Maserati.
Is that Ferrari in my name? Just because he talks to me, is that Ferrari in my name? No. Now maybe when I was younger, a teenager, maybe that's something that would have been thrilling to me. But as an adult, no. I'm just more realistic. Like your materials don't make me unless it's in my name. Unless you give it to me. So. Okay,
so see, I remember in 2008, I was in Louisville, Kentucky, and I went to Kai's over in Jeffersonville, Indiana. They brought R. Kelly in. And this is a little bit right after his trial was over. And he was at Kai's and we were in the VIP section. And he was singing to these chicks like, yeah, like all these girls are trying to get at him. And I'm like, I'm over like, y'all know he peeing on girls. Y'all like, what's your, was you over there and did you go to the R. Kelly concert? Do you still
I used to go to Kai's frequently. because I always love me a big dime party. It hasn't been a promoter in Louisville that's promoted a party like an actual big dime party when he was alive.
Okay,
right. Partners, but I didn't know. I never heard of R. Kelly being a cast, but no, I wouldn't have been on him because again, he's a celebrity. So I'm sure that there's plenty of women throwing their stuff on them. I'm more traditional. I'd rather be the one that's being chased.
I mean, but
no matter who it is, I might give you a look, I might give you the eye, but it's probably a whole room full of people that's giving a celebrity an eye. I ain't ready to compete.
I mean, but with allegations though, with R. Kelly having the allegations of known for like peeing on women and child molestation,
they chose to do that. This is my perspective on R. Kelly. None of those women were raped, and except for the exception of one that we don't know. The family was paid off. The family brought that little girl to him.
Okay.
And she agreed to it, but no one said, I said no. They all accepted the invitation to come in and fall victim to whatever he was doing. And it was some, even after the first video dropped, they were still coming. So it was women chasing fame for one
right.
to say, I've been with R. Kelly, but now you want to say you've been abused because he may have promised you a record deal or a song that was going to blow you up, and that fell through. So now this is your way of getting back. And of course, people going to believe it because we have this video here, and then we have the Aaliyah, stuff that went on. So, but none of them said they were raped. And they were all able to walk away when they got tired, when they got ready. So he didn't hold them hostage. Y'all wasn't chained up. It was all voluntary. So I don't feel like that's abuse. You volunteered for that. I mean, from years on down, they all volunteered. They still went to the house. It was all in a chase for fame. And then when they didn't get what they wanted, they were mad. And then that's where the victim came in.
Okay.
I ain't got nothing against R. Kelly. People been going in the 90s. Grown men were coming to basketball games.
Right. Right. Thank you. Oh my God.
So, it's nothing new. I mean, it still happens every day. And a young female gonna bite because, of course, this grown man got money, got a car. If that young girl don't have a car, he's gonna take me back and forth to school or to the mall, wherever I need to go. It's better than catching the bus or Lyft or Uber. So of course, I mean, that happens every day. That's normal. It's where it becomes an issue is if it's like if I said no and you keep going.
Right.
And you force yourself. So yeah, R. Kelly, he ain't did nothing wrong to me. I still buy his music. I still listen to his music.
Okay. When this is one thing and I think that's one of the voices when you talk about the Me Too movement and you look at the situations like R. Kelly. Would you consider like the Me Too movement for white women and for black women two real total different entities, or do you think it's the same thing? And what I mean is when you look at the fact of like the Harvey Weinstein and stuff like that, but then I think you have black culture and you have our own different kind of things. Do you think the reason why black women really aren't into the Me Too movement is because they like guys don't really do us like that versus what white guys do? And what I mean is like
us more.
That's what I mean.
And it's been happening to us for decades. I mean,
okay.
The times they was putting us on display.
Right.
Because the body shape or how we was just able to take so much abuse and still thrive. So, I mean, it's been happening to us since we existed, since they brought us over here. So, in other words.
And that's what. Okay. No, go ahead. My bad. I was just saying that's what I meant. Is like, do you think they ignore the fact of the black woman's Me Too versus the white woman's Me Too? And
I don't think there's a black or I don't think there's a black or a white woman's Me Too. I think it's bringing awareness, but I feel like they lost their purpose, especially when they did the R. Kelly. I didn't even watch it. The R. Kelly thing. They lost their purpose. It's one thing to help victims, but then you have a bunch of women that really bandwagon. That's what they did. They bandwagon. and they weren't really victims. I think that takes away from the message of the actual Me Too movement. And basically, what they did was put a spotlight on one particular person, and they kept going at it. And they did. I feel like it tore him down. It did, because now look where he's at. There's
Right.
support, but people are supporting in the closet.
Right. Now
Right.
tell me. Okay, so tell me, do you think he'll win the versus battle if he was to go up?
Absolutely. Who got a catalog that's going other than Tupac got a catalog that's gonna match R. Kelly's? And he wrote all his stuff. So no.
You don't think nobody can get Kelly?
No. If anything, they want to work with him or they want him to write a song for them.
Right. I would pick R. Kelly to. I don't know. Who would I put R. Kelly? Who
would you? Who you could put against R. Kelly is probably deceased. They're probably not even living. I would say a Gerald Levert.
I would say Smokey Robinson.
No, hell no.
Smokey, you don't think so?
It's not even the same octave. No.
I mean, come on, man, Smokey.
No, not Smokey.
Hey, tell me something. When it comes to sexual assault and stuff like that, have you ever sexually assaulted a guy? Have you ever forced grab the guy out of nowhere, what's up, how you doing? Can I get some penis? Do women do that? I know they do, but have you done it?
Women do that with the person that they're in a relationship with, not this. I mean, women may do that. I can only speak from my perspective. I'm not going to do that to somebody random.
Okay. I one of the things I always want to I talk about is being dark skinned in the 90s.
Dark skin.
No, what I mean is how hard it was. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I had a lot of light skinned dudes take my girl from me. It's hard. And I remember, one thing I told you before, I was like, one thing about a lot of women that I know, they were brown skinned and they had natural long hair and their bodies were nice, and they were always said they had weave. I remember girls used to walk up to dark skinned girls I knew, they would pull their hair. Have girls ever yanked your hair? Just to see if it was real? Do they do that?
Yeah, they do that. I mean, my grandmother would do that when I would go get my hair done, and that's because I had thick hair, and if you get it rolled, it doesn't move. It looks like a wig.
But what? Okay, so you know how white women touch black women hair? Have a white woman that walked up and just touched your hair?
No. But at the nail shop, I have had Asian women when I was younger. They would ask to touch my skin.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I used to date women. I used to date women that would Persian women and white women that would rub and be like, "Oh my God, your skin's so beautiful. I want to have brown babies." Mm-hmm. I'm like, brown babies? Yeah, that's scary, right there. I don't want to have no damn brown babies, dude. I don't like that. Have you ever told a guy you want to have his baby?
No.
Oh, so
I'm alive. My kid's 5 years.
Okay, so how many kids you have?
Two.
Two. Child's father?
Huh?
Is the child's father? Is he cool? How's he? He's how long?
I think he passed away 3-4 years ago.
How is that? But they were older though. So, but when I'm pretty sure.
It doesn't be easier because they were older, but. Yeah.
But were you majority of the parent? Were you 50-50 or was it 56? I mean 46?
It was me.
It was all you. How is it raising two black men by yourself? Was it hard? Was it easy?
It wasn't easy. It was hard, but I had a village. Luckily, I had enough family that helped me.
Okay. What do you think was the hardest part about raising two black boys by yourself?
I don't think it wasn't hard. It didn't get hard until they got older, and then we have all these issues coming up where, I had to sit down. The first time I had to sit down and talk with them if they, what to do if they get pulled over because they were driving. I mean, other than that, it hasn't been easy, but it's been kind of smooth for me raising them. I don't have bad children. They're actually very well behaved, and I have good sons compared to most. You know, they're
Yeah.
not in the streets. They
Okay.
are productive citizens.
But when people hear, oh, they're good kids, were your kids raised in the suburbs or were they raised in the hood?
I mean, yeah, we wasn't in the hood. I lived in the projects maybe the first year I had my oldest son. But he doesn't remember it. But I mean, they wasn't raised in the hood. I wasn't raised in the hood, so maybe that's what it was. And they went to traditional. They stayed in the traditional program while at school. I mean, but that's what I chose for my kids. I can't speak for anyone else. It doesn't make them any better. It doesn't mean they're going to turn out any better than somebody that was raised in the hood. Sometimes they go farther, but that's just what I wanted for my children.
Okay. Have you ever heard the term that you taught white? Have anybody ever said that to you? That you sound white?
I used to hear that all the time, but now I got, from the people that I've been exposed to, I can turn it off and turn it on.
See, and that's the thing, though. Back in the day,
voice, and then I have my regular everyday voice.
Okay, and that was the thing. Back in the day, to me, that's the white voice, is the work voice. You know, it's like, but you're not talking white. You just sound like you're talking like without slang. And I think when nowadays, when a person be like, you talk white, you actually like, hey, how you doing, buddy? Like, you don't talk like that black girl, like, oh my God, something like that. But how did you maintain, how are you able to turn on your hood and turn it off? How did you do that?
It was normal. I mean, you would see it on TV. They would do it on TV. It's just normal. I don't know. My family doesn't talk hood. We talk normal. I wouldn't say black or white. We just talk normal. The hood, I mean, that just came from hanging out. The slang came from just hanging out. Yeah. And every genre, every generation has their own book of slang.
Right. Well, I think the difference, I think now that a lot of people are really trying to pick and choose how they are black people. And I think a lot of people nowadays don't want to be 100% black. I think they want to be black and Chippewa, black and Latino, black and this and black and that. Like, nobody really want to take in their heritage. Did you do the 32andMe or 23andMe test? Did you ever do your heritage test?
No, and I'm not putting none of my information in none of those tests to play with my DNA.
Yeah, okay. Where's your people from? Do you know where your family history is from?
Shit, I don't know. I believe a lot of them came from Chicago when I asked my grandmother years ago.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of family come from.
I don't know, but my grandmother said Chicago.
Somebody said R. Kelly versus Chris Brown would be versus battle, but that's a writer versus a singer. I don't think that'll work. Can you? That ain't gonna work.
Yeah, right? Chris Brown, he dancing and all of that. Now, if Michael Jackson was around, yeah, Michael Jackson and Chris Brown. Yeah, but R. Kelly, I would say maybe Tyrese. Tyrese, and Tyrese, he still supports him. He still openly supports him.
I'm gonna say this. I know who might. I don't know, and I know people might be like, "No, you can't do that." I will put R. Kelly versus like a Paul McCartney or a.
You would definitely have to use somebody legendary.
Yeah, I would. Oh, hey, you know who will whoop his ass? I'm gonna tell you who will whoop his ass. Lionel Richie. Yeah, Lionel Richie beat the hell out of R. Kelly, and he beat his women better than R. Kelly ever beat his girls.
Lionel Richie beat on women?
Hell yeah, R. Kelly.
I thought he was the one that got beat up.
Nah,
Richie, his first wife, she beat him.
Oh yeah, he whooped his ass, but after the first ass whoop, he's like, "I'm gonna hit first." Have you ever been hit by a man?
Yes, I have.
Like,
not with a closed fist, but yes.
What? Now, you always hear this term, and I'm always biased, and I say this as a radio host. It's like I'm always in the middle, and I'm never gonna jump. I say you never put your hands on a fucking woman. You always walk away. But you know how women, the different lingo is, what did she do? Or I understand why he did it. When a guy hit you, what was the term for him hitting you? Did you hit him first? Did you try to stab him? Did you bust out his window, or was it you didn't want to be with him?
He was in that moment, but I never do the first blow.
So you ain't hit him first?
No.
Have you ever hit first? Hit the guy first and he hit you back?
No.
I mean, what have you had a discussion with your sons and asked them like what to do, like if a woman hits you or not to hit them? What's the discussion when it goes with that? Like when it goes to family?
I tell them to get out, get away,
walk away,
because the woman is always going to be the victim.
Okay. How do you deal with that being a mother of a son, of two sons? Are you one of those women that want to know your son's girlfriends? Or you like, don't bring them into the world?
Girlfriends.
You want to know them. What's the basis though?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, are you one of those controlling mothers? Because
I'm not controlling, but I'm gonna have my say. As long as I'm a parent, I'm gonna fight for my sons.
See, and that's the thing. My mom, I think I don't like taking my mom around girls when I meet her because my mom will run them away. Because that's my mom. I know how she is.
If your mother can run them away, then they was never for you anyway.
Oh wow. Wow. Ain't that more petty like for a mom? Do you try to intentionally talk crazy and come at your son's girlfriends anyway? Do you talk to them anyway, or you just more so like whatever?
I'm just like, hello.
Cause you what, 25, 27? How old your kids? You look amazing, man. You look amazing. Yeah. Oh my God. I mean, what you actually do, you look amazing. So I mean, you basically are like a mom that the young dude's gonna be like, hey, bro, have one of your son's friends ever tried to talk to you?
Hell no.
They ain't never crossed that line?
No.
Would you talk to one of your sons? What's the youngest you would date? What's the youngest you would date? 18?
I like.
What was that? Hold on, your volume went out.
Years behind in the man. So I'm mature. I would prefer somebody that's on the same man level. But maybe 35 would be the youngest. 36, 37.
About that. My volume went out. That's what it was. Sorry about that. Would you date? No. It can't. There we go. Sorry about that. You hear me? Now I don't hear you. Did my? Hold on. That's weird. Sorry about that. Uh-oh. How did my volume go out? Ah! Hold on, B. There we go. Is it back? All right, is it going? All right, so you can hear me. Now I can't hear you though. Look on the bottom of your screen. You see your volume button? Is it muted? Yeah, you should be up. I can't hear you. Man, fix the guy. What is wrong with you? What is that? What? Hey. Hold on, Brandi. I'm gonna remove you real quick. Hold on, man. I don't even know what just happened there. So let me add her back. Hello. Say something. Man, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to screen. Hold on, let me back in. Hey. Nah, all right. So let me check something real quick. Really jump onto the quarantine, like not the quarantine. What made you get on the business side? What made you all of a sudden just say, "Hey, this"? No, that's something. All right.
And I have a plethora of.
It's still behind, man.
Covered.
Really jump onto the quarantine, like not the quarantine. What made you get on the business side? What made you all of a sudden just say, "Hey"? I don't know what. No, that's something. All right.
And I have a plethora.
Hold on. It's still behind, man.
Covered.
All right. Onto the quarantine, like not the quarantine. Can you hear me now, Brandie? All right. Yeah, I'm sorry, yo. We having some technical difficulties, and I guess it doesn't happen until you actually start getting big. You see what the white man does? You see what the white man does to people? That's why you like when it goes to broadcasting. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. Like I got her unmuted and she still can't. Do you have a microphone? I know you can hear me, but I can't hear you. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna go back to the link, go out, and then come back in. And I'm gonna have to. I don't know what happened, yo. So this is, one of the things I always ask women. Do you talk to your kids when it goes to like being in that situation? Where we were just at was kind of asking her, what do you do when a woman do hit your son? What do you do when a girl do hit your son? How do you respond to that? Because I know women from the hood that they don't even play. Women from the hood, they be like, oh, hey, hold on. And you see people that they're on that kind of like you touch my son, I'm gonna kill you kind of people. There we go. We good? All right. I don't know what happened there. Sorry about that, young lady. She's like, hold on, let me fix this camera. There you go.
No, my phone keeps ringing.
Oh, so that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's almost time for us to get off anyway, man. I'm terribly sorry. That's probably what it was, that your phone was ringing. Son, that's one of the things that my grandma told me is that, anytime a man gets to a point where he's about to put his hands on a woman, walk away.
Yeah.
Walk away. But also, this is one thing I put up before. I said, a lot of y'all guys have, a lot of guys don't understand what no is. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the sexual side of being with a woman. If you go over a man's house, what is the time that you feel as a woman that you shouldn't go over a guy's house? Like if you know it's booty call hours, because I think in the hood we have booty call hours. And we know, hey, if I go
after 10 o'clock.
Anything after 10 o'clock is a booty call? Is that just your rule? Is that you and your girls?
That's just me.
What made you figure that out? What made you say, if I go over a nigga house after 10 o'clock, he won't fuck?
I think if I go over a man's house in the afternoon, he gonna want to. That's what we do. That's what he gonna want, and that may be what I want.
So have you ever went over dude's house after the club and you try to smash and you was like, nah, I ain't come over here for that?
No, not after the club. No.
So when you look at stuff like the Mike Tyson situation, right? And remember the girl went over Mike Tyson hotel at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. Do you think that that she knew what was going on, or do you think now she actually went over to talk to him?
She knew. She was willing to do whatever she could do to get up under Mike Tyson, even if it was sex. When it comes to a celebrity and anyone trying to get next to a celebrity, that's their first go-to is sex.
Yeah.
Regardless of what time it is, but definitely at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. What you think?
Dude, so have you ever worked for like a manager or a supervisor, something like that hit it on you? Or have you ever dated a supervisor or manager based on something like that?
Mm-mm.
She said anything after 7 p.m. is a booty call. Damn, that's early. The kids ain't sleep.
It's any time of the day as an adult. Any time of the day could be a booty call.
I thought it was when the kids go. I mean, not the nooners. I'm just talking about in the hood, you go over after 7:38 because the kids are asleep. That's what we do. That's the hood thing. Like, hey, what time your kids go to sleep? I'll be over where the kids go. I don't want to be the little bastards. Did you ever? How would you like? Were you with your dude? How long was you with your child's father?
Over 10 years.
Over 10? Okay, because I was on warning because I done been over girls' houses and I went over and we'll be smashing and I look over and they got their 6-month-old baby laying on the floor. And I'm like, dog, why don't you tell me you got your baby in here? They be like, oh, she sleep. Don't worry about it. I'm like, no, man.
But did you keep going or did you stop?
I stopped. I remember the first time, like when I was 15, one of my first girlfriends was 25, and I ended up dating a stripper named Tina out Building 8. I was living out Building 8 in Iroquois. And
like getting raped?
Who, me? Nah, I was community dick. They was taking care of all the older women in the hood was taking care of me. So I was good. And I remember she asked me to come and spend the night, and I was sleeping in the bed, and then she started messing with me. And I looked over, and I thought it was a pillow, but it was a baby. And I'm like, I'm 16 years old. No, I'm 15, and she's 22, and she got a 3-month-old baby laying right on the bed. And when we smashing, I didn't know. And the baby started crying, and she literally stopped during sex and was like, grab the baby and pick the baby up and start hugging. I was like, no, you can't do that with me in the bed naked, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna do that. But she literally was like, hold on for a second and grabbed the baby and started trying to breastfeed. I'm like, nah, we ain't doing all that. That's what. Like,
I mean, it speaks to you, Drake. If she was able to stop in the middle of sex and get her baby and breastfeed, that means you wasn't really doing too much.
I was 15. I was 15. I don't care, but I respect that. But then when I got older, actually when I first moved out to California, this chick did that. And like she came over and like we messing around, and this is like the 5th girl I messed with that put her baby on the floor. I'm like, your baby don't got a bed. Your baby don't got a crate. You know what I'm saying? You put your baby on the floor like a pair of shoes just so you can smash a man. And for most guys, our rule is don't bring a nigga over the house when you got what? Like, out of respect, baby, don't fuck a nigga with my kid in the house. Do you believe in, like, what's your rule? Do you like, nah, like, yeah? Like, has that, I mean, I know you said.
That's almost impossible. But
I mean,
not put your baby on the floor, so you can at least let your baby be in his bed, in his room. Definitely not on the floor.
Yeah, but you was with your kid's father for 10 years. So after 10 years, they were 11, 12. Will you bring a man over?
They wasn't that old. It's just that that's how long I had been dealing with him. I had known him since I was a teenager.
Okay.
But I mean, from my experience, it was always don't have no man around my kids.
Okay. So hold on. So how old was your baby daddy?
He was just a year older than me.
Okay, so he wasn't 10 years older than you like most people.
No.
What's the oldest man you ever dated?
10 years.
How old were you though?
I don't know. Everybody other than my kids' father. I mean, what's your point?
What I'm asking. What? No, I'm asking because were you dating an older man in high school or were you dating guys your age?
I dated an older one in high school.
What? How old though? How old?
I think he was 23.
How old was you?
17.
Is that good? I mean, would you say that's good, or would you say that's considered like what's today's new term, grooming? Is that considered a groom? Do you feel that he groomed you, or do you feel that was all choice?
He didn't groom me, but I mean, he was known, so he probably groomed some other people, but he didn't groom me.
So when you look at what do you consider grooming, and what do you consider a woman trying to fuck grown man? What is, you know what I'm saying? Like, what would you consider a woman actually trying to fuck grown man and saying? Because I know I told a girl before that I was
a young girl.
I'm talking about a younger guy. Because as a young guy, when I talk to older women, when I first did it, The first time I was like, I'm 18. I was like, I'm 17. She was like, oh, I'm 28. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I'm 17. They were like, cool, and they'd talk to me. But when is it different? Is it different when a woman try to target older guys, or is she wrong or is he wrong?
I don't think I wasn't trying to target an older man. You was at the basketball game that I was at, a high school basketball game. So I wasn't trying to target you. Maybe it was the other way around. But
okay. I mean,
the age wasn't even spoken of. It was just, what's known doesn't need to be said. Age
so
discussed.
Is that has that always been a thing amongst like women though? I always thought that younger women always tried to date older guys, not the other way around. I never, like, girls in high school used to diss us for niggas with cars, and then one of the niggas in the school with the cars was the dope dealing niggas in the cars, 25 with the drop top.
But they came to all the high school games.
All the games. So, but y'all would jump in the car with them niggas. But now when y'all look back at it, do y'all say y'all were victims, or y'all saying, no, we was trying to fuck these niggas too. They was trying to fuck us. We was trying to get money. Because I always say this. Back in the day, you can buy a girl some shell toe Reeboks and she would fuck you for the rest of the year. And older girls used to fuck with niggas who bought them shell toes and Nikes and J's. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it happened.
But how do you look at that now as a woman based on the way society is now? Do you say, hey, man, no, that's what it's about. That's what we do. Or no, don't play the victim now.
And being older, I wish I wouldn't have did that different. But that was, it was, something that happened. And I can't take it back. But I think they definitely have the upper hand on it. It's an advantage to an older man dating a young girl that doesn't know as much. But it's a learning lesson.
Okay. It's I don't know. I think it's the hard side when we talk about like the new council culture and the feminist movement. And I think the talks that we don't have is that we don't have a fair round table of equal Black women, Asian, Indian, white women talking about how they experience growing up. And you haven't had women come forward and say, look, man, y'all, why the fuck y'all going to a hotel room at 3:00 in the morning to read a movie script? Why are you know what I'm saying? Like, you as a Black woman, if you was in the movie industry, would you go to a director's hotel at 4:00 in the morning to read a movie script? Or would you say, yeah, you got to do what you got to do?
I'm going to say, I can't speak on that. It depends on how bad I wanted it. If I was in a position where I needed to chase fame and I thought that this producer might be my big break, especially for a Black actress, or you've heard stories how hard it is for them. I can't say that I wouldn't do it, but me being the way that I am, I'm gonna need something in writing to say, if I do this, I got this part. I'm gonna need some insurance.
Okay. But are you gonna come back later on and say, hey, you took advantage of me? Or are you just like, fuck it?
Because I already knew what it was.
You already knew what it was.
Yeah.
And I remember Holly Berry coming out and she's saying, I respect the Me Too movement. She said, but also we didn't get offered those roles. The roles that y'all got raped for, we didn't get even offered the role to even experience what y'all went through. And do you kind of more so because of the history of white women and Black women, do you feel connected to this, and you feel like that's y'all fucking problem?
I feel like the Me Too movement, it started off as something good, and then the purpose and the message changed.
What do you think the purpose is now?
The purpose is just to get exposure and money.
Wow.
Exposure and money.
Who
did they really take down other than R. Kelly?
Harvey Weinstein is on his way down, and
he's not going to jail. either he's going to somehow kill himself like that other guy, or somebody's going to kill him.
Yeah. And you see the difference in the money, though? You see the money path?
Right. So he's paying out. He supposedly will pay out all of these silver suits, but he's still getting paid. If you watch some shows now, it still says Weinstein Company, filming company.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people need to just wake up. Like, don't think that everything that they do is for us.
This is some, hey man, this is some crazy shit. But tell me, man, R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, or Harvey Weinstein?
I think they leave.
Who are you rolling with first? Who are you rolling with first based on what happened? Who would you say, hey, I guess it's weird to say if motherfucker taking advantage of me, would you prefer it be Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, or R. Kelly?
No, I don't. I prefer nobody take advantage
Okay.
of me.
No, I'm just saying in that situation. I'm just saying in that situation.
I prefer nobody take advantage of me.
You okay? The reason I'm gonna tell you the reason why I said this, because I had a guest on before, and she said, "You look at Bill Cosby, you look at Harvey Weinstein, you look at R. Kelly." She said, "I'm fucking Harvey Weinstein." She said, if I had to pick, and it was on that, she said she would go with Harvey Weinstein because the people who went that way got more money for the bullshit that they went through. So basically, what she's saying is. And I understand it. The reason why she said it, she said she looks at it like this. And the reason why I brought this up to ask you, she said, because the women who were raped by Harvey Weinstein, they are millionaires. She said most of them are millionaires. They're very, very successful. She said, even though it is bad, she said they got in movies, they were successful. Someone won.
Are they happy?
No, this is what she was saying. She said, but when you look at the Bill Cosby rape victims and you look at the R. Kelly rape victims, she said they're broke. She said these men didn't give them nothing. There was no quid pro quo. She said the difference between the Harvey Weinstein was quid pro quo. Do this for me, I do this for you. The R. Kelly was not quid pro quo. It was one-sided. The Bill Cosby was all him. He was drugging people. So that was it. So she said if she had to pick to be the victim, she would rather be the victim of Harvey Weinstein. I was like, wow, I never heard a woman break that down like that, but I thought that was I always thought about it. But you know, this is counsel coach. You say some shit like that, they want to get, oh, we gonna get rid of them. I'm like, all right. So let's ask women which one.
But I mean, if you do it because of the money, then you was disrespecting yourself. You was selling yourself, basically.
You said it though.
Money is not for the.
But you said that though.
The root for the love of the money is the root of all.
Oh.
But I said that for as a teenager, not as a grown woman.
No. I'm just saying right now what you said. You was like, if I do this, I need something in writing. So you was like, if you was to go fuck Harvey Weinstein, if you go see a director at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Context that you asked the question, you said, who would you rather be with?
Oh no! You said before I asked that, you said if I go to somebody's hotel at 4 o'clock in the morning for a movie part, I need something in writing saying that I'm gonna do this to get that. Remember you were saying that.
Right,
so that's what made me ask that question more. So it's like, wow, man, like why are they excluding Black women?
But I couldn't break down and do no. I don't care how much I wanted. I can't do no Harvey Weinstein. Yeah. I wouldn't even be able to do Bill Cosby.
Why? Because his dick probably look like this. Come on, give me that. Yeah, that's a Harvey Weinstein dick. That's you want that movie part? That's terrible, man. That is fucking terrible. Hey, tell me something though. What do you think the legacy? What do you think the legacy of a Black woman is for the next 10 years? Do you think y'all gonna?
You just turn around and put on a wig?
What do you mean? I ain't put no wig on.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh no, yeah, this ain't no wig. It's like this. I let my hair out real quick.
Okay.
Let my hair out real quick. So, so when you look at the state of Black women in American gender, do you think Black women? Because if it wasn't for y'all, black men wouldn't be where we are right now. I mean, I salute my queens, because if it wasn't for y'all, we'll be dumb as hell, because y'all are the ones leading in business and education. Y'all the ones that's raising the black man. Do you think y'all get enough credit?
No.
Why?
What group I like to support? Protect our black women.
Okay.
I like that. Because we always go toe to toe for our children, our men, regardless of whatever abuse we've encountered with that man. We still gonna go toe to toe. We ain't gonna let nobody from the outside gonna come in and say nothing. It's in house. But the black man is not the same way. They'll let anybody come in. Really, what you should be discussing is how quick a black man will abandon black women or their children for some money.
Do you think they do
way
that?
quicker than a woman will?
Do you think a black man would leave a family quicker than a black woman would? Oh, for some money?
Absolutely.
Why you say that? Why you talking about black men
they just want to pursue that green grass that they think they're gonna get.
So do you think when most black men do get successful and get rich, they tend to walk away from the black woman?
Sometimes they tend to walk. Now it depends on what type of lucrative black man you talking about. Are you talking about the street black man? Or are you talking about the black man to go to work? Wears a suit?
That I asked somebody this: do you think street black men are more loyal than professional black men to black women?
I would say professional black men.
They are more loyal to black women?
Yeah.
So okay. So what's your thing? Do you think that black man, because they asked Sister Soldier this before, and what Sister Soldier said, she said is when she looks in the mirror, if a man doesn't match his skin tone, she doesn't feel as equal. What is your thoughts on interracial marriages and things like that in relationships? Are you with it? Are you like, no, man, I really ain't fucking with it like that. I'm good with it, but not.
But the question comes to mind is, did you try with a black woman? Like, what brought you to someone outside of what you've seen all your life? You were raised by a black woman. Your aunties are black women. Your sisters, your cousins. What took you to that person? It wasn't just love. I guess it could be, but you. And then if that's something you did all throughout your life, you dated outside of your race.
Yeah.
You just had a rainbow. Then that's okay. That's what he does. He's not. But then if you dated all of these black women and you didn't even try to make it work, or you dogged them, and then when you got with this person that's outside of your race and you in love, yeah, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
I actually think a lot of black men do that, is that they don't give 100% effort towards black women, and they might find something different and be like, oh, she perfect, and marry her. And I heard this before. A black dude told me this. He said the reason why he don't date black women, he said because black women want to be the leader and not the follower.
Well, and it's our fault.
That's what he said.
We've been leading the households for decades.
Do you think the
men were removed from the home, from as slaves? Because they get on a strong black family. Because then we rise up. Or then it was jail. A lot of our black men were jailed. So it's not our fault the way we are. We have always been raised to care, to keep the household up.
So because of that, do you think that the black man is supposed to be 100% loyal to only black women, or do you think that they got to be the first shot? How many women should he go through before he say, hey, I'm a date out somewhere? Should he put in 10, 20, or what?
It's not the number of women that you got to go through. It's just that, if all your girlfriends from high school up into your 20s, your mid-20s were black, and all of a sudden you say, oh, I'm a date outside my race, but it wasn't an issue where they were the issue. You was the issue. Do
you date outside your race?
No.
Because white boys are in right now. White boys that look like black dudes with the braids and gold. I seen the white boys been out there with the tattoos and gold. Do you like that kind of white dude? Or are you like, nah, I don't fuck with that?
I mean, no. I guess I haven't. No.
I mean, it's you know, I don't know. I think I think we put a lot of focus on black men and we don't focus on the black women that date outside the race.
I think I could date someone like Hispanic, Latino, or something like that.
Look, they black. What are you talking about? They African.
I mean, that's close. I like a dark man. So
what's the dark? Because you know, white people be like they like a dark man. Dark skin man. I used to hear white women say that I like a dark man. I'm like, oh, like me? Like, no, a white dark man. I'm like, what the fuck is a white dark man? It's a nigga to get a tan all the time. You ever seen a white dude with like the? Or it's just their way of saying they want an olive dude, like more like Italian kind of white dude like that. I think it's their dark skin.
But that's just my preference. That's just my preference.
But you're from Louisville, Kentucky, 502. What the fuck is going on down there? Why are y'all killing? What the?
Y'all? Who is y'all?
No, I mean not y'all. It's 502. Why is the murder rate?
I'm from the same place you from.
But I mean, I'm in Cali. I mean, Cali. Why is it so violent right now down there? What's going on?
I don't know.
Do you think? What do you think they need to do about? Because we know the Breonna Taylor situation. What's your thoughts on the Breonna Taylor? I definitely want to ask you that.
I definitely think that those police officers should have been prosecuted. They should have been arrested. I think Daniel Cameron should be removed from office. I think it was a slap in the face that Mayor Fisher hired that the new police chief. I think that was a slap in the face to everything that went on.
Yeah.
And it's not going to get any better. Another thing is that I think some parents are not parenting.
Right.
They're being friends, or they're ignoring the signs of what's happening. I
mean, what would you do? What would you do?
Sometimes some of these kids are just, some of the ones that are being killed, they are just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, my son's mother just got murdered in Louisville back in December. And she got shot 6 times over there in the Portland neighborhood by a dude. And I was shot in my head when I was 16 years old. And I was also beat up by the Louisville police. And you know, son, Brandon, this I kind of felt bad. I think I don't want to say I felt jealous about the Breonna Taylor situation, but it's one of those like I told you so. You know what I'm saying? Because in 2012, I remember talking to you in 2012 when I did an interview with Fox News. And you was like, why didn't you cut your goddamn hair? Why are you on camera looking like a fucking bum? I was like, Brandi, they just called me. And everything that I talked about George Floyd, about the chokehold and the breath, when I went for the protests and stuff like that, nobody wanted to step forward and come out and help out. But why do people gotta die for black people to speak up? Why is that?
But why? Oh, my battery's about to go dead. But why anybody gotta speak up for you to keep speaking up? If you feel like you've been violated, it's on you to speak up and fight for justice. Nobody told anyone to fight for Breonna Taylor. People just got tired because I don't know anybody. I've had a bad experience with police.
Yeah.
And some of those officers are no longer, one of them in particular is in prison right now. But I've had bad experiences and I've had good experiences, but the bad outweigh the good. But it's up to me. I got to fight first. If you don't want to fight for yourself, how are you going to expect for somebody else to do it?
And see, and that's the thing. That's the thing.
But a fight always ends up in a payoff. It's where we say a fight, the payoff got to stop. We got to stop accepting the money, because once you accept the money, and I'm not talking about Breonna Taylor's mother, you know, I'm just talking about me as an individual myself.
As an individual, yeah.
When we accept the money, you accept what's happening. Like, this is what we're gonna give you. They're gone.
And see, and and what I mean, let me correct this, because I know how media is, and they'll take that little small part and run it. What I'm talking about is when Terry Snorton got killed in Louisville. Terry Snorton got shot in Louisville. That was back in like '96. And then I remember there was a cat like in 2004 or 5, Terrence Newby, that was running down the alley.
Oh, you can go back further than that.
Okay.
My grandmother recounts where a guy was.
No, B. This is what I'm talking about. So when dude got shot, I was going to University of Louisville, and I remember I wanted to do a protest about this. This is like 2005, 6, and I went to Canaan, St. Stephen, Bates. I went to all of them. I went to Judges. I went to like everywhere. I swear to God, I went to everywhere passing out flyers to do this protest, and like 6 people showed up. And I ended up going to the city council, and you can actually pull my record up. And I was like, man, why do we have to be out here protesting? I said, dude, I want to do a protest, and look, we the only people hurt. I said, we need to stop this before it gets out of control. When in 2012, when I got beat up by the police, in August, I was discriminated against at the downtown Louisville. Mm-hmm. So down 4th Street Live, I got discriminated against. My brother party got thrown away from Maker's Mark. We got them shut down because of their discrimination in Maker's Mark. So me and my brother have a track history of dealing with the racism and stuff like that, and we fight against it. So when I spoke out about my situation about the Louisville police, nobody gave a shit. You know what I'm saying? This is something that I've been saying. So when the Breonna Taylor situation happened, I'm like, why y'all coming out now? Y'all should have been doing this shit. So that's the part why I like, why do people have to die? And you being a black woman, you the one that y'all deal with more murder than black men, because y'all raise us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all raise the kids. What do you think need to be done? What do you think overall needs to be done? Like just with the police and
in order to correct everything that's been going on in Louisville, and it's been happening for decades. Breonna Taylor wasn't the first.
Yeah.
And she's not going to be the last.
Yeah.
It's the corruption that's built within the LMPD, the Kentucky government, period. And that's why they were trying to stop everything that was happening. After all that was happening, it was clear, it was obvious that those officers were wrong. They did everything that they could to not say that. And that speaks volumes to what they're really trying to have. Like, this is bad, but wait till you start digging up those files and see what's really been going on.
Yeah.
They don't want those years, those decades of corruption to come up, because that's a whole government that needs to be overthrown. That's a whole police force that needs to be overthrown. So I think it needs a whole reconstructive, the whole LMPD. It just needs to be washed out.
And see, my discomfort to that is my big cousin Van Jenkins, my cousin Lil Curry, my cousin Joe, my cousin Jamari Dennison. You know, I got tons of cousins that have been murdered, but they were murdered by other black people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we still got to change ourselves. My cousin Joe Keys just got murdered back in 2014. He got shot. His girlfriend set him up. You know what I'm saying? So I have so many friends that have been murdered and killed, but they were killed by black men. They were not killed by the cops. So I'm really constricted. Like, we need the fucking cops, but at the same, you know what I'm saying? It's a hard.
I do agree that, like, during the protests, the murder rate did go up. I don't think it was already on the rise prior to the protests. It was already on the rise. However, with all that was going on, I feel that should have been a time that we all came together. Because that's another issue. They take us for a joke. Like, how do you expect us to take you serious and respect your lives when you don't respect your own? Because you're killing each other.
Okay.
But it's kids. And again, a lot of it starts at home.
So is a black woman allowed to take the full blame for if she's the only one to been raising a black man, and though the father been absent? Do y'all blame, or can women fully 100%? And I say this, can a woman who did not have her daddy in her life blame a man who was not around his child for being a bad parent, when she knew, most women know going in, that most men aren't staying with their kids? Like, if the black woman's been raising a black child and he's the one that's getting murdered out on the streets, is it possible to say that she's a bad parent, or she just needs a man in her life? which one would you say? Is she a bad parent, or she needs a black man? Or
if it's one parent or two parents around, it's just the level of parenthood, the relationship that you have with your child. I don't care if you grew up in the projects or if it was in the suburbs or whatever, medium class. It's just your level of parenthood, of parenting. If I just wasn't raised like it, I wasn't raised like it. So everybody in my family, we go to work.
Do we point? I mean, can we point blame though, or
no? I don't think. I don't. Now, if the mother is going out to the clubs and the kids is and the kids is at home and they hanging out, you got the clubhouse, all the kids is over. You looking at their social media, or somebody sending you pictures of their social media, and they throwing up gang signs and got guns in their hands, and they sitting in your house, then you should be able to address that.
Have your sons ever jumped at you? Because they say boys jump at their mom. Have they had one like whatever? They don't do that. We about to get ready to get off. I want to ask you one more question real quick before we get off. Well, actually, two. Do you think if the roles were reversed, if black men were the ones as the single parent and the woman was the one out here running around doing what the fuck she wants to, do you think there will be more black boys living, or more kids living, or more successful, or do you think they would be not as good as they are now because it's a man raising them versus just a woman?
I think it'd be worse because the women do the nurturing. The women.
Okay. So does the nurturing versus survival? Because the father's a survival side.
They definitely. I mean, survival is just a normal instinct that you're born with.
But I think men would teach their kids to fight versus shoot. I think women, since y'all can't teach it, most of y'all don't know how to fight, and y'all don't teach that side.
Where do you think men learn how to fight from?
What I mean?
Where do you think a man learned how to fight from?
From another man.
Woman, no.
Hell no.
Woman.
Women go like this.
You learned how to fight because you was in a fight. You knew you didn't want to lose, so you was gonna do everything possible to win. I ain't
never seen, man, whatever. I ain't never seen no man pulling no hair. Like, get off me, bitch, get off me. Get off my hair. Get it, let it go. I ain't never seen two men grabbing each other dreads and saying, let my hair go. Let it go.
There's plenty of videos out there.
What?
There's plenty of videos out there.
Hell no, I ain't gay guys.
They don't have to be gay. I mean,
okay.
Level of weakness that you're gonna pull on that level of weakness. You're gonna go for that level of weakness to give you the upper hand.
Something. One thing, and the last question I'm gonna ask. One thing you always hear, and I want to address this because I think a lot of people ask me. I got a lot of inbox questions over this. Do you think there's a gay agenda on black men, and do you think? I think someone told me, they said if the black man is not prevalent in a kid's life, then more likely he is going to be more softer or more feminine, or even on that end. Do you think that a man does that, or do you just think it's the upbringing for a kid being softer or something like that?
I only believe that if you are truly gay, you was born like that.
Okay. I respect that. I definitely respect that. I think that's that's another different conversation. I do have somebody, one of my homeboys coming over here that's going to talk about it. But I think when I get to talking about like the Jewish community, Asian community, then I'm gonna have some doctors and stuff on here, some philosophers come on here and give their input. That way, if I do say anything out of context, they can kind of say, yeah, you want to look at it saying this way. But I honestly thank you. I'm sorry about the video part. Can you give me some information about how to reach you in your business? She does my shirts, and this is one of my C student shirts, man. And I've been selling these, and y'all can order this through Be Creative, and part of the proceeds.
Be Creative _ by Brandi, and that's Brandi with an IE, not a Y. Be Creative by Brandi on Instagram. That's the best way to reach out to me. Just inbox me.
Have you ever tried to match it? Okay, so y'all, hey, so The regular shirt don't have the podcast. How the hell? All right, there we go. So the new shirts don't have the podcast. Only these shirts have the podcast. But so I can let you know this. All right. So I can let you know I did not put this up. Hold on, let me show you. I am. You see that? So
just tell me. I can see it.
So you know I did a Power Ranger stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to be in the 2022 Comic-Con for as a Power Ranger. So I'm starting to use my Power Ranger credits. So what I'm gonna do is a Power Ranger C student shirt, and guess who is gonna be the person that's gonna be making those shirts? Boom! So you are gonna be the person dealing with that. And since I'm able to use the red Power Ranger as because I was the actual Power Ranger, now I'm able to use the actual brand logo for Power Rangers, and Brandi Coleman is the person that's going to be bringing my shirts and my merch.
Own your stuff.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you, man, and you know where it's at, man. You like a best friend to me, man. I love you, and I appreciate you.
I support you as much as any way I can. And
you know something, man. You always been an amazing woman. Just as a cousin, man, you always been a role model, and you just fucking amazing. You raising two strong boys, you doing your thing. I've never seen you fucking flinch. Like, you take shit straight on, man, and you're a strong ass woman, man. So I can't wait until you write a book or write some self-help to tell women how to control their emotions and just have a poker face and get it done, man. So
that's all it is. Get it done.
Thank you, man. I love you and I appreciate you. And do we supposed to be like Black Girl Magic out of this, or what do we say? Do we say Black Girl Magic, or fuck it?
It's the realest.
The realest.
No realer than this.
Don't be bringing no fake ass black terms. This shit's real.
No realer than this.
All right, man. Thank you very much, everybody. Brandi Coleman, thank her. Thank you. You have an amazing Friday. Bye. Thank you, Friday. Thank you. Bye. All right, y'all. That's been Brandi Coleman, man. And thank y'all for tuning in today. This is going to be on my Instagram, and it's also on my YouTube. I am officially able to promote, and I promoted this before, but y'all know, as y'all know, I was the Red Power Ranger. So I am able now to go and do Power Ranger products and stuff like that. And man, your boy's good, man. Thank y'all. Comedian André Mulligan, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We are out. C Students Podcast